This might be the worst video I've ever seen. Almost every single thing, if not every single thing, in this video is absolutely terrible and wrong. Now let's see what he's trying to say.
This is not what I usually post, but I wanted to test out something that, I like to do in my free time. So let me know in the comments if you guys like these type of videos, and I'll make more of them. But for this video, I wanted to discuss the very simple topic of let's start with Naruto.
So he's talking about
let's start with first place.
So right here,
Grant. Let me see if I can find a picture of Grant. Holy shit, there it is! Now that we got that out of the way, is already FTL as a kid,
he's
which is just
essentially trying to say Kid Naruto is not faster than Light. And if you're saying this, you're unironically trying to argue against Kishimoto.
Now he's going to talk about the only reason that Naruto fans try to defend this is because in the data book it says that it's possible to move between the mirrors at the speed of light. But also after that it says it's impossible to see the attacks send out from this literal light speed movement. And here's the clip of Naruto dodging it.
Oh my god, the data book says that this is a light speed diesel. Oh my
god, he dodges it.
So something to bring up about this is that in the data book it says that he moves between the mirrors at light speed, not out of them at light speed.
So the problem with that is that Naruto literally blitzes Haku when he's moving between the mirrors. So if you agree that he's moving at light speed between the mirrors, that would already make Naruto faster than Light because he gets blitzed out of these mirrors. Another thing, Haku is moving between the mirrors
was dodging
at
a light speed attack,
which we can all agree that would mean he has light speed perception. Correct? Hopefully, you said correct to that. If you don't, you can do a little bit better. Thank you. But anyways, Naruto perception blitzes Haku. Now, why is this important? If Haku can perceive light speed, but he gets perception blitzed by Naruto, he can't see Naruto. This would mean that Naruto would have to be
this feat doesn't work for one of three reasons. One, saying that Kid Naruto with one QB cloak is faster than Light is like saying he's faster than fucking Itachi.
And now I'm going to explain why this is also bullshit as well.
Who couldn't even react to Kirin, which isn't even a light speed feat. And now
the problem with that is that he uses Zetsu. Zetsu is not a reliable source. Why is Zetsu not a reliable source? Zetsu is the same person that compared Kirin to Amaterasu and said it couldn't be blocked or evaded. Big problem with that. We literally see the Raikage evaded shortly after he makes his statement. So he's not a reliable source. And in the same data
this
book
is where Naruto fans try to back it up with the data book. So it literally says lightning takes the shape of the legendary divine beast and hits at the speed of light. I really hope that you see the problem with that and I don't have to explain it. But if you don't, lightning is not light. The fastest part of lightning is only about a third of the speed of light, which is the return stroke.
Alright, another big problem. He's trying to say that it cannot be light speed because it's just regular lightning. Only problem with that is, I don't know if you noticed, but Sasuke isn't exactly a regular human. He is amplifying the lightning with his chakra to make it move faster, which is why it should be at least the speed of light. Especially when this Sasuke is massively above the Kid Naruto that we've already established is FTL.
And the part that actually initiates the strike is thousands of times slower than that. So calling a lightning attack light speed is literally just data book hyperbole and exaggeration.
Yep, based on what? Based on what? An unreliable source and a story that literally contradicts the narrative you're trying to push.
Claim is backed up even further by Zetsu being there in the moment while they're fighting and referring to the speed of lightning when he sees Kirin, instead of the fucking speed of the arm in which a huge amount of chalk.
So here
Alright, number 2 is the fourth Raikage's lariat.
So he tries to say that the
Raikage says it smashes the
is
arm in which a huge amount of chalk
relativistic at best
is loaded onto the base of the opponent's neck. while rushing almost at the speed of light. Keyword almost.
Okay. Problem with that is, one, it's not even translated correctly, and he'll mention this mistranslation in a second, but I just want to clarify that this is the base travel speed of an attack that the Raikage literally has to slow himself down to utilize, which would mean that it's not inherently capping the base speed of the Raikage. So this is another terrible debunk.
And I've also had someone try to bring up the original translation for the databook, which also doesn't change a single fucking thing. And now, as you can see, the very top is the original kanji.
Okay, so he's saying that it's not as fast as light because it's just a simile. The only problem is that when it says light, it's just comparing the speed of the attack to light, which means it could either be faster than light, slower than light, or relative to light. And
for the original translation,
I think there is more than enough proof,
and then or
that
as
the Raikage, who is the fastest shinobi at this point, who is faster than multiple other people who are many times faster than the speed of light, should probably be faster than light.
Didn't fail fucking English class in high school, then you would know like and as if is a fucking simile. Yes. Now I could say Usain Bolt is fast like a cheetah, or fast as if he were a cheetah. But does that make him as fast as a cheetah? No.
Now, this is what we call disanalogous. Disanalogous means that the analogy being used is not correlative to the argument or what's being shown. Now, why is this disanalogous? Usain Bolt, I don't know if you noticed, is a regular human being. Maybe not regular, but you get what I'm trying to say. He's a human being. He's bounded by human limits. So obviously, he cannot be as fast as a cheetah who is multiple times faster than a human. So that's clear as day an exaggeration. Nice. Problem with that is when we're comparing the Raikage to light, and we're already in a series where we've seen people and we've seen things that go at the speed of light or faster, he would have to be most likely above the speed of light to just compare him to light to illustrate his speed. That's it.
That's a horrible fucking argument. That means
and
that
this would also be a contradiction because the exact same thing is being said about the fucking Anbu. You know, the Anbu that got slaughtered by Kid Obito. The same Kid Obito that got slaughtered by an actual Kage level threat. So, no. Terrible analogy, terrible debate.
At best is relativistic. This also means that
also hold on.
You're one of the people
remember that number. 10% to 50% of the speed of light, because it's gonna really go against the narrative he's trying to push in a second.
Who is light speed? Make that make sense. Naruto, but Sasuke takes Naruto. But I'm pretty sure that this is the first FTL feat for Naruto.
Essentially, he asserts that this is the first fashion light feat in Naruto Shippuden, which at this point in the video, you should know is blatantly fucking wrong. Problem with this. Naruto in KCM1 perception blitzes the fourth Raikage, who he used to establish him as like relativistic. We'll just take the middle number of the percentages he showed. We'll just use 30%, right? A perception blitz is, at least on VSBW, at least about 7 times faster than the person that you're perception blitzing. Other websites might say it's 10 times or 100 times. Whatever. We'll just use 7 times. Low ball. 7 times. Okay? If Naruto is if Raikage is 30% of the speed of light, and Naruto perception blitzes him while being a centimeter away from his fist, this means that Naruto is 7 times faster than a Raikage, bare minimum. And I don't know if you noticed, but if you multiply 0.3 times 7, that gets you to 2.1 times faster than the speed of light. So literally, by your own scale, Naruto is faster than light at this point, by far. Because you're gonna see later on in this video, he doesn't fucking use multipliers for Naruto, but he abuses them for Luffy. You will see very soon. So if Naruto in KCM1, who is massively weaker, Then Naruto, who is in 6 paths, why would Naruto only be moving out faster than light? And the problem with this feat is that Naruto is being severely handicapped by this. Even ignoring the fact that Madara at this point is massively above light speed. Massively. Even ignoring that and just saying, oh yeah, it only moves at the speed of light, which by the way goes against his One Piece FTL narrative. Whatever. You'll see in a minute. Naruto is being held down by a Limbo clone, and he still turns his body fucking 90 degrees to dodge a beam he was off guarded by. That was literally inches away from his face by the time he dodged it. So why would this cap at barely FTL? Why? He dodges after the beam is fired when it's basically about to hit him, and he was off guarded and he was being held down. What? That's like, hold on. That's like someone getting shot at, right? And then they see the bullet right as it's about to enter their eye, and then someone holds them down, and then they still dodge it. And it's saying, yeah, they're not a bullet timer. That's fucking stupid. That's genuinely dumb. Like, genuinely. Just think about that. Think about that for a second. Why would Naruto only be capped to faster than light if he's so severely handicapped and he still dodges beam? Why?
400 damn episodes into Shippuden. With that out of the way, now we have to look at Sasuke to get us further. So now in Naruto versus Sasuke's final fight, look at these two, and this would be putting Ishiki in the FTL range 1 to 2.
Alright, so he already skipped over something pretty crucial. Yeah, so Naruto in the last is stronger than Naruto in 6 paths when he's in base form. So you would have to find the multiplier for his 6 paths transformation and then reapply it, because Naruto is already above what he used to be in his max form while he's in his base. So he's already fucking up.
We can probably assume it's a middle ground.
Really bad. We're 4 minutes into the video. He's already colossally messing up. Like, this is already horrendous.
5 times faster than light, since Sasuke can perceive light speed attacks, since he's on par with Naruto at this point. Now we have to move on to Naruto's strongest form, Baryon mode versus Ishiki. Sure. Here's 2 clips. Ishiki is not being perception blitzed. Naruto being in this
directly contradicts what we just saw, because Naruto blitzed by him and one-shotted him into the fucking water before Ishiki could even react. So whenever Ishiki is reacting, he's preemptively putting his hand where he thinks Naruto is going to be in order to block the attack. He's barely even reacting to Naruto. Like, we just saw him get perception blitzed. So, yes, you're already being contradicted. Next. So come on, let's keep going. Okay. Now he says Naruto is 6 to 15 times faster than the speed of light. Why is this wrong? Okay, now if we go back to what he was saying about the Raikage, the same data book that he uses to try to debunk light speed Naruto, the data book says that his speed is not inferior to the Yellow Flash. What is the Yellow Flash? The Yellow Flash is the alias for Minato. Why does he get the alias for Yellow Flash? He got this because of Flying Raijin. Flying Raijin is instantaneous teleportation. It takes you from point A to point B in 0 time. You essentially bypass the physical distance between that. Why is this important? Naruto perception blitzes the Raikage, which will put Naruto in KCM 1 at infinite speed. This makes sense because we've seen the Raikage dodge Amaterasu. Amaterasu is an attack that spawns wherever the user is looking. So it essentially just appears on you. It doesn't physically travel. Similar to teleportation, right? Sasuke, in his fight against A, tries to use the Amaterasu on A. While the fire is in mid-formation, the Raikage dodges the Amaterasu, and then it spawns over. So this and then his fucking assistant, C, I think, if I recall his name correctly, directly states that the Raikage's reflexes and his reactions are on par with Minato. The same Minato is also shown to be able to move mid-teleportation, which means that his in terms of combat and reaction speeds and reflexes, he would also scale to infinite speed. So we have gotten a KCM1 Naruto who blitzes this Raikage who has infinite reactions to infinite speed. So I think 6 to 10 times or 6 to 15 times faster than the speed of light is a critical low ball for Barrymore Naruto, who at this point is several times faster than he used to be in KCM1. Especially when in KCM1, he was just robbing the Nine Tails chakra. He wasn't even supposed to have that. He beat Kurama and then took it from him. So he wasn't even at his full power.
Let's move on to Luffy. Starting with Foxy, he describes his devil fruit.
So he's already fucking up because he mentions Foxy. Why is this bad to start with Foxy?
Being made up of photons.
See here, he's talking about how Foxy's photons are referred
also
to
described as being light
Why is
multiple
this
other
a bad
times.
thing? Because Foxy also refers to the photons as atoms, which contradicts it being photons. Now, I'm not claiming to be a fucking physical scientist, but last time I checked, atoms and photons are not the same thing. And we also have further credence to why they don't function like actual photons. Whenever we see them bend,
we see that these photons also bounce off mirrors. This would give Luffy FTL reaction time and movement, since he's having to dodge and also fight back at the same time. Then in Thriller Bark, we can see that an injured Zoro is able to dodge.
Okay? So therefore, I have no reason to believe that is light speed, which in a second I will provide further credence to why I don't believe it is light speed, or at least it's most likely not light speed. Now he brings up the Kuma pad cannon feed, and he says he reflects it at light speed, whatever. The problem is he reflects air at light speed. I don't know if you noticed, but Luffy is not air. He reflects air at light speed, creating a piercing shockwave. So anybody who dodges the shockwave is not light speed. So this right here is not a light speed feat.
Kuma's pad cannons, which is explicitly stated to be light speed by him. This faster than light. We also see
now he's saying everybody pre-time skip is faster than light. Why is this narratively a problem? Oda in SBS 110 talks about Kizaru, who he only explicitly states is the speed of light. Using his own logic, he would be capped at light speed, cannot go any faster. Using this guy's very own logic. What's his name? Call me Yita. Fucking Shita. Whatever. Shita. I'll call you Shita. Whatever. So, little boy Shita is saying that if attack, even if it's used by an FTL character, if it's being used and it's stated to be at light speed, rejecting the fact that they could most likely amplify it, it's still light speed. Using the same logic, Kizaru is light speed, no faster. In SBS 110, Oda says you need proficient Haki to even perceive light speed. Why is this a problem? I don't know if you noticed, but Haki wasn't even mentioned during pre-time skip, and none of them actually are proficient in Haki. So there's no possible way under the narrative of this story that they can be light speed. So that means by this dude's same logic that he uses for Naruto, Luffy would never hit FTL until post-time skip in Gear 5 when he finally fights Kizaru and he barely blitzes him.
See that in the next arc, Saboti, that drew Luffy's This is before Luffy's multipliers of Gear 2. As we can see during Eni's lobby, Fukuro created a power level sheet. This shows Rob Lucci's power level at the time at 4,000 in base. And this power level sheet is only for physical ability. This is before they ever got their devil fruits.
You know what? I don't think this
we also know is that super fruit. 1,000. Since base Luffy is fairly shin blitzing at least a 50
this part isn't horrible. This is
like
one of the few parts in the videos that aren't like too bad.
on the translation. So he doesn't even know which way to observation haki. For Luffy after tournament haki and is able to times.
Now there are inconsistencies with the the fucking gear multipliers, whatever. Fine, you can keep this number. The big problem I have is that he uses the multipliers for Luffy, but he uses 0 multipliers for Naruto. Now, what would be some of Naruto's multipliers? We know that Naruto in One Tail is able to clash relatively to Sasuke in the Part 1 finale. Why is this important? Sasuke has at least 2 amps, potentially 3 amps, that are all tenfold. He has at least one from Curse Mark 2, which was directly stated by Jirobo to be a 10 times multiplier from his previous state. Now, his previous state was Curse Mark 1, which is also another amplification to your base stats, which means that the Curse Mark 2 being a 10 times multiplier is actually the bare minimum. And then in a data book, the ones that he tries to use, like he picks and chooses to fucking back up his claims or to go against a certain claim, state that the Chidori is an order of magnitude difference in power from your original self. This is also backed up when Minato was talking to Kakashi in chapter 240 about the Chidori. He's like, yes, the destructive power and speed is great, but you have to stop because it's too much on your body right now. And then this problem is later fixed whenever Kakashi gets a Chidori so he can control himself better. So you could argue that the Sharingan is a 10 times multiplier, but I will more consistently argue for 100 times multiplier in terms of Sasuke's amplifications, his total amplifications. And now if I were to include the Sharingan multiplier, then I could argue, then yes, it would be 1,000. But yes, anywhere between at least 10,000 to 1,000 times of an amplification would be One Tail, because the One Tail is able to clash relatively to the Sasuke, who has multiple 10 times amps. Later on in this video, I will be calculating Naruto's attack potency using the Akatsuki. I'm not going to use the fucking 4 tails multiplier or whatever, because I don't feel like it.
In the speed right there, because it's pretty vast between the two so far.
It'll also get him much higher than I really need to. But anyways, I might do it just to prove a point.
After this is 3 vast between people that try to argue that Kaguya is universal.
Now, why is it a problem for Kaguya to be universal in his eyes? Let's hear him.
Now, this is the scan that a lot of people like to use when trying to get...
Remember this scan. Let's read it. Let's read a little bit of it. It is equivalent to the orbs on Naruto's back. So the ETSO and Naruto's Shuchiken orbs are one and the same. It's just that the ETSO is bigger. Nice. Okay? Perfect. Comprised of all 5 dimensions in yin and yang, it had the power to obliterate the world and return it to nothing. The definition for existence erasure is the simple power to return something to nothingness, leave nothing behind. That's what existence erasure is. We see that the truth-seeking orb had the power to return it to nothing. Okay, let's keep this in mind.
Kaguya Universal. They're talking about the expansive Truth Seeker orb. Sorry for the shit quality, but it states that she used the divine. It says a symbol.
Okay, now he's saying that she didn't create her dimensions, and that she was weaving them together. Why is this a problem? The kanji used for weaving is figuratively used for to create. So the debunk that they try to use literally rebunks itself. Because if you actually look at the definition of it and what it actually contextually means, it means to create. Now, why does it matter? Why does it not even matter if she created the dimensions anyways? Because Kaguya, through Amino Manaka, significantly affected the Naruto universe and her own universe at the same time. Which, her universe is stated to be a 4th dimensional space-time by another space-time ninjutsu user Obito, who also created his fourth dimensional space-time, Kamui, when he unlocked his Mangekyou Sharingan. She significantly affects two of them at the same time. Where would this scale her? This would scale her to low multiversal. So universal is actually a low ball, one. And then two, none of what he's saying is even debunking the universal Kaguya that he's so against.
Or weaving. If I assemble a building brick by brick, I didn't create matter or space itself, you know? I just arranged what already fucking existed. That doesn't make me building level in creation terms.
Only problem with that, you yourself as a human cannot create mass. You can't just spawn a black hole. Now, if I asked you to destroy a rock, you can destroy a rock. If I asked you to create a rock, you're never going to be able to create a rock. Which is why the fucking analogies you hear with people saying, oh yeah, if I build a house brick by brick on building level, they're fucking stupid. Why are they stupid? Because you're taking pre-existing materials and putting them together, which doesn't even apply here, because as we've already established, weaving is figuratively used for to create. So when they're saying she's weaving space, it's actually saying she's creating space, if you use it contextually.
Goes for Kaguya. She weaves or assembles space. She's assembling something that already is there.
Dumbass.
Dimension is only ever puts her at planetary. Okay, Dimension is only ever described as space or a world. And
okay, now why is this also another problem on his end? Because world, contextually in Japanese, means society, planet, or universe. Now let's try to assemble what contextually world would mean in the case of Kage Usatsuki's dimensions. There is no civilization to be found in her dimensions, so it cannot be referring to society. We see stars in the background of her dimensions and other celestial bodies. Therefore, it has to be bigger than a planet. The game, which was also stated to be an official part of the story by Kishimoto himself, the writer of Naruto, also depicts them having redshift nebula, full galaxies, full solar systems, etc. So, definitely bigger than a planet. Which means by process of elimination, if it's not a society or a planet, it has to be a universe. Which is why, contextually speaking, Kaguya's dimension would be universes.
Ever as infinite or created from nothing, her assembling it shouldn't automatically scale her to a universe. Not to mention, there are implications of the universes being infinite in size. Like, for example, it being referred to as a parallel dimension when Naruto's dimension, it has infinite size implications. There you go. So, it's parallel to it. Now, just because it's parallel doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be, like, the same size. That's not always what it means. Alright? But Sasuke is saying that he can't use his eyes in an infinite distance. He's saying like he can only use it through finite distances. And then he couldn't sense the rest of Team 7 and Obito, which implies that it's actually infinite in size for her dimensions. Creation. This at most puts her at planetary if we're assuming that the planets in her dimensions that she assembles, not creates, are the size of actual planets. Moving on from Kaguya, we have Toneri. Toneri is stated to be the strongest enemy yet, and this is after Kaguya. Yep. Now, Toneri's strongest feat is splitting the moon.
So he's already fucking up. Why is he messing up? He's saying that Toneri's best feat is splitting the moon, which is not true. Because we actually see in the movie, he moves the moon. What is the scale? Moving the moon would give you around large planetary-ish AP in the context of how he actually did it and the time frame he did it in. I could show you calcs if need be. Alright? So this doesn't cap him at moon level. And also, this attack was done by accident. This was collateral damage. And also, all of this is in reference to destructive capacity. This does not limit their attack potency.
which sounds like a very strong attack until you realize that the Naruto moon is hollow.
This pissed me off just a little bit. Well, I was already I was already a little bit skeptical about the video before that. I'll just say that. But yes, so why is this not true? Saying the Naruto moon is hollow is essentially the same as saying our Earth is hollow. There are full civilizations inside of this moon.
Yes, it would probably still take a good amount of energy to do this, but this would probably only put this feat at multi-continental.
Why can it not just be multi-continental? Because a moon needs to have enough mass to function as a moon, which means that anybody who can split the moon would have to have moon level AP to affect it because it has enough mass to function as a regular moon, which means it cannot be multi-continental. Now, you know who actually is multi-continental? The average shinobi. Why? Because it only takes 100 of them funneling the chakra together into a cannon, which has zero implication to be a multiplier of any type of way to destroy the moon. Naruto, during the Fourth Great Ninja War, spread his chakra to thousands upon thousands upon thousands of shinobi in KCM2 and multiplied their powers by many-fold. So, even just using that scaling, Naruto in KCM2 would most likely scale to around, like, large planetary. But, anyways, I think that's kind of a low ball for KCM2 Naruto. I can show you where KCM2 Naruto scales in a little bit.
But let's just say that this does scale to moon level. This would mean that Kaguya only scales to moon level or lower.
We already established why she scales far beyond moon level. If you ask me, I actually think low multiversal is a low ball for her. I would actually say that like any 6-pass characters that scale to or above Hagoromo would just scale to low outer versal. I can do a video explaining that if anybody wants me to explain it, or I can write it in the comment section. Holy fuck, I just dropped the class. But yes, moon level is just criminally terrible scaling and would not even make sense. Even if I just used the last movie and what we visually see in the last movie, he would still have to scale to at least large planetary. Also backing up by the fact that he one-shotted the Tensaigon while in base form with no multipliers at all, by the way. 0 multipliers. The KCM2 multiplier was not being applied. Sage 6-pass multiplier not being applied. Sage 1 multiplier not being applied. Just base form, one-shotted the Tensaigon, which is stated to be more durable than the moon and the moon and the Earth colliding. Fuck! Anyways, sorry, blunder. But anyways, the moon and the Earth colliding. So he would at least, bare minimum, have to be planetary. Also backed up to the dialogue when Toneri is talking about I'm going to destroy the Earth. I'm taking this Earth down along with you. And Naruto is like, no, I won't let you destroy the Earth. So, very consistent implications just based off the movie alone, nothing else. At least, bare minimum, planetary and disruptive capacity alone.
As well, since Toneri is the strongest.
Some calcs even get the Sun Taigon to like fucking solar system. So, I mean, I want to do like some more research on how to get to the solar system. But I don't doubt it. They probably pay a lot more attention to the dialogue of the movie than I did. So even just me not paying attention to the fucking movie entirely can get them beyond planetary and destructive capacity alone. While this dumbass, no offense, cannot even get him past moon level and lies about his best feat, which was done by fucking accident.
Opponent yet. Naruto beats Toneri in one punch, so we can grant him moon level AP. Now we can move on to Momoshiki. This is where wording and context are in one punch, so we can grant him... the word
continental. Hold on. Continental durability. Okay, hold on. So, when does an object that has the mass of a continent ever have the ability to function as a fucking moon? And then he take this in base. So how would his low ball be continental in durability? How? Fucking how?
Moon level AP. Now we can move on to Momoshiki. This is where wording and context matter even more. His dimension is described.
So he's not gonna show when his dimension is stated to be a hyperspace. That's nice. Okay, and he's gonna use world and try to contextually make it to planet, even though again there's no civilization in his dimensions, so it's not a society. And we see redshift nebula and stars and galaxies and solar systems in his dimensions. So it's bigger than a planet, which means it has to be a universe contextually. But he's gonna say world equals planet regardless. Whatever. Fine. Whatever. Good luck trying to explain a fucking sun and how that would make him planetary. I guess. Whatever. Sure. That would bare minimum scale in the solar system. But anyways.
The little scope. Draining his other world is directly stated to mean draining the planet's chakra. So Momoshiki caps at planetary.
Wow. So somebody who created a hyperspace, which is contextually a fourth or fifth dimensional construct at least, caps at planetary at best. Interesting.
Nothing higher. Since Momoshiki is at planetary, Naruto, Sasuke, and Boruto all had to
No offense to Boruto, but he wasn't really putting in as much work as Naruto and Sasuke, at least in, down in that era of Boruto. He wasn't exactly on their level, so I don't really know why you included him in there, but anyways.
To beat him. So, this would make Naruto not planetary either.
Okay, why is this wrong? Now, if a character is planetary, and then two other characters who are massively weaker than him try to team up on him, the stronger planetary character is just gonna manhandle both of them to the fucking floor and defeat them. So we see that Naruto and Sasuke, by the way, he mentions that they had to team up, but he doesn't. Okay, so he mentions the fact that they had to team up, right? But he doesn't mention the fact that they were weakened and drained. So if you're gonna mention circumstance, at least mention full circumstance. Don't bring up anti-feats and not bring up feats. Because they both did this while they were exhausted and tired. So, them in a weakened state were individually going relative to Momoshiki. Naruto, we see him going relative to Momoshiki while he's in his base form. But somehow he is below planetary. He's moon level. Despite matching a person who is planetary while he is in his base form and overpowering him while he's still in a weakened state.
Because he had to have help to beat Momoshiki. So even now, Naruto's only moon level. He couldn't beat Momoshiki alone. He needed Sasuke and Boruto. Against Ishiki in burial mode, he's stronger, yes, but still just buying time with it. And Kawaki has to run. His peak isn't crazy, it's just temporary power for the fight. So even after all that, Naruto is still only hitting moon level power.
Congratulations. You proved that you can't fucking scale, you actual numbnut.
At this point. Anyway, mate, let's go ahead and
scale. Adult Naruto. Nice. Congratulations, I guess, bro. Moon level adult Naruto. Nice. Okay.
So as you can see here, an old ass Whitebeard that has fucking cancer is equal to Shanks in a clash. And this little ass clash splits the fucking sky.
Nice. Now level attack at best. Congratulations. Anyways.
Furthermore, this same old ass Whitebeard with cancer is stated to have the power to tilt the world.
Tilting the world or tilting the earth, depending on the degree of it, gets you to anywhere from continental to planetary. It's not automatically planetary. And considering that Whitebeard doesn't do a shockwave, which means it would maybe tilt the earth a few degrees, the most you can realistically get that to is planetary. Or sorry, not planetary. Continental. Sorry, I give him way too much credence. Sorry. But you know what? We can highball in the planetary.
World means planet.
I'm going to do a proper scale at the end of the video just to prove this nigga fucking
planetary. Wrong. And this One Piece data book is not contradictive. You want to know why? Because the fucking manga says he has the power to destroy the world as well.
So what the fuck does that do for Luffy?
Motherfucker, I'm getting to it! since Shanks is equal to Whitebeard in a clash, we have more proof from Garp in Water 7 talking to Luffy that Shanks is on the same level as Whitebeard, dude. This would mean that Shanks has the same attack potency as Whitebeard. And what would that mean for Shanks? It means that Shanks is planetary. Clash it splits the old cancer-having Whitebeard. Look, out of Kaido. This is hybrid Kaido as well that he just did that too. So this is a stronger form than basically bigger than our sun. This would form than base Kaido.
Up large planetary calculations to try to upscale them. This might be the biggest fucking blunder in the entire video. Potentially even worse than his abysmal speed and AP scale for Naruto. Let's see why.
Wait, hold on. The One Piece planet is multiple times bigger than our own. Here's one scale showing that the One Piece planet is actually bigger than our sun. This would make Luffy large planetary to star level.
Assuming Luffy could obliterate the entire planet in one shot, which you're just never proving, by the way. But anyways, let's keep going.
But here's a calculation that
we'll give him benefit of the doubt. We'll scale him to star level. Okay, fine.
Since we know Kuma deflects at light speed,
deflects air at light speed, which Luffy is in air. But anyways.
Kuma reflected Luffy all the way to Amazon Lily, which took 3 days. With this math that I obviously did by myself, no help from AI included,
very funny.
This would mean that Luffy traveled 2.16 times the diameter of our solar system.
Wow.
This would...
More than the solar system. Amazing. Dude, that's so impressive. Hey, you want to know a problem with this, though? There were fucking seagulls keeping up with Luffy when he was mid-air, which debunks the fact that he was moving at light speed for multiple days on end. Nice. Multi-solar system AP. Whatever. Alright. Naruto's planet, using calculations from actual long-distance light speed feats, not some bullshit that is so easily debunkable, it's not even funny, gets the planet to around large star level. And the ability to destroy it would get you to around solar system level AP. It's 10 to the 45 joules. I remember.
Give Luffy solar system AP.
So Naruto's planet is actually solar system. And Kurama was also stated to be able to easily turn the world to ash. Why does world contextually mean planet in this instance? Because there are several other statements, roughly 7 to 8, that back up the Biju having planetary power. The Biju bomb can destroy the Earth. Earth-shattering, destructive power. Planetary. As in reference to the planet. World equals planet. So by using this large planet upscale, Kurama will be solar. At least casually solar. Now, I'll explain why Kurama, using that scale, will scale even higher. I'll use a regular scale for a regular planet, and I'll use a higher scale for a larger planet.
In multi-solar system AP. Now, the same people that are going to see that and be like, that's fucking stupid, you're stupid, motherfucker. Those are the same people that think Naruto is universal.
And this is the same nigga that thinks Luffy is star level and billions of times faster or millions of times faster than light and beats Naruto. Keep this in mind. This is the same nigga that said Naruto as a full-grown adult is moon level. When the average shinobi is multi-continental and Naruto was as strong as the average shinobi or stronger in the first fucking episode of the show. Want to know why he's that strong? Because Naruto learns the Shadow Clone Jutsu. The Shadow Clone Jutsu is directly stated to be an A-rank shonen level technique, which means he was scaled 2 or above the average ninja. Nice. And I already explained why Universal is kind of a lowball for Naruto when he's able to beat Kaguya's ass, who at worst is low multiversal. Maybe not at worst, let me rephrase that, but has low multiversal credence via significantly affecting 2 or more 4D space-time continuums.
So in the end, I still haven't even talked about
it's just like this shit is rage bait.
5 and Luffy outscales Naruto in speed and strength. And I think you should all know that hacks go to Luffy because Gear 5 is relatively just reality warping.
Oh wow, Yin Yang release goes crazy, guys. Yin Yang release goes crazy. You can turn reality into fantasy and fantasy into reality. Sick. Yin Yang release upscale. Man, where have I heard that? Whew.
This point in the story, the only thing that Naruto could possibly have is when he's in his Sage of Six Paths mode and the Truth Seeker orbs, which people...
This might actually be the worst part of the video. Forget about the large planetary scaling. This might be the actual worst part of the video. Like maybe not the worst part, but it's just a fucking slap in the face.
Existence erasure, which, let's go ahead and look at some pictures of the existence erasure.
Why is this nigga stupid? He's stupid because you have to apply the erasure property to the truth-seeking orbs. So showing images of the truth-seeking orbs not working when a user isn't applying a property to it is not a debunk at all. Oh man, another time where the existence erasure property is not being applied.
Oh my fear, it should be gone, but it's not because it's not fucking existence erasure.
Why was Naruto able to kick this away? Because Naruto is in Sage of Six Paths mode. Sage of Six Paths mode allows Naruto to utilize Senjutsu. Senjutsu is a hard counter to truth-seeking orbs, and truth-seeking orbs do not work on Senjutsu. So that's why Naruto was able to kick it away, because he had the fucking counter to the truth-seeking orbs. Actual dumbass.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of this video. Luffy's skill is higher than Naruto in pretty much everything. Cry about it. But tell me in the comments if you guys like this type of video, and if you do...
No, you're fucking stupid. Anyways, you get a fucking dislike again. I'm just gonna dislike 2 times. Anyways, now I'm gonna do an actual proper calculation of how strong Naruto is compared to fodder-ass Luffy. In early Shippuden, Naruto, while in base form, defeats Kakuzu, a mid-tier member of the Akatsuki. The Akatsuki are stronger than the Biju. Why is this important, you might ask? The Biju have these Biju bombs that can destroy the earth. Why don't the Biju bombs destroy the earth every time they're let out? The reason why is because the Biju bombs can be controlled so now their attack range is smaller and it can maintain the power. Okay, where was it stated that the Biju bombs can destroy the earth? This was stated multiple times during multiple data books written by Kishimoto, who is the author of the story. Why is this not hyperbole? This is not hyperbole because it's written through the form of expository text where Kishimoto is trying to tell you about how strong a certain character is and the abilities of a character. Therefore, this would not constitute as hyperbole. This would actually constitute as expository text telling you about the abilities of these characters, meaning that the Biju and along with the Akatsuki would have to scale as planetary. Naruto, in base form, defeats this mid-tier member of the Akatsuki, who is stronger than Hidan, who defeated the Two Tails in its fully manifested state. So he was scaled to planetary at bare minimum. So, Naruto in base during the Kakuzu arc is planetary. So we'll use 10 to the 32 joules for his base attack potency. Nice. Now, using this attack potency of base Naruto, we can extrapolate this to Kurama because we know every tail is a 10 to 100 times, or sorry, actually 10 to 1,000 times multiplier, depending on how you want to interpret certain things in the Sharingan. So in order to get an estimate of how strong Kurama would be, we would have to apply a 10 to the 9th, or 100 to the 9th, or an 1,000 to the 9th multiplier to get Kurama's actual attack potency, which would provide further credence to why it can easily destroy the world. Now, why did the multipliers multiply together? Because he functioned as compound multipliers. the compound multipliers have to multiply together. They cannot be added together because they stack on top of each other. Okay. So, in order to get Naruto's attack potency in Sage Mode, we have to estimate Kurama's attack potency because Naruto in Sage Mode beats Kurama. So, we're going to use 10 to the 9th. To the low ball. 10 to the 9th. 10 to the 41. This gets you to star level. Alright? So, Naruto in Sage Mode, when he fights Kurama, is star level. Then, we can reapply the multipliers because he takes Kurama's chakra. So, this is what applied to KCM2 Sage Mode. So, he gets this. 10 to the 50. This gets you to the middle of solar system level. So at a low ball, Naruto is solar system level in KCM2 Sage Mode. Now let's redo it with a 100 times multiplier. 10 to the 32. Whoops. 10 to the 32. Times 100 to the 9th. 10 to the 50. Middle of solar system level. Guess another amp from Kurama's power. 10 to the 68. Where is the scale? Multi-galaxy level. Sick. Okay, so Naruto is multi-galaxy in KCM2 Sage Mode. Nice. Let's go back. Now I'm going to use 1,000 times multiplier. Okay? 10 to the 32. Blah, 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 blah. Bam. Galaxy level. Okay, so Sage Mode Naruto, when he fights Kurama, Galaxy level. Nice. We apply it. Wow. The high end of multi-galaxy actually... Yeah, it says multi-galaxy. Never mind. Almost out of uni. Uni is 10 to the 92. Sorry. Alright, so... that gets Naruto using regular planet level scaling to multi-galaxy. Solar to multi-galaxy, depending on how you want to apply the multipliers. I think multi-galaxy is fine. Okay, now let's readjust with the 10 to the 45 AP to destroy the world unit I already established prior to this video. So Naruto, Kaguzu arc. 10 to the 45 joules. Okay, low ball multiplier. Now to the 54, that's high-end multi-solar. Sorry, high-end solar. Whoops. You gotta get a multi-solar real quick, though. Hold on. To the 62. To the 62 gets you the multi-solar system. Nice. So... using the large planet scale, we just got KCM2 Sage Mode Naruto to multi-solar of his low ball multiplier. Clear it out. Goodbye. Come on. Go away. I'm joking. But anyways, we're going to use this again with the mid-end multiplier. Okay. Multi-solar system. All right, let's reapply it. Oh, multi-galaxy. Again. Nice. This is sick. All right, let's go back. All right, now we're going to use the high ball multiplier. Okay, to the 1,000, to the 9. Oh my gosh. He's already in the middle of multi-solar system when he fights Kurama. Sorry. Multi-galaxy when he fights Kurama in Sage Mode. Oh, okay. Let's reapply for KCM2 Sage Mode. Oh man, it's gonna be a really big number, guys. Oh, holy shit. Oh, Universal! Oh my gosh! Naruto in KCM2 Sage Mode is universal. Holy fuck. Oh my gosh. Compared to Luffy, he's only at max star level. Oh. Huh. Okay. So whenever you use the large planetary scaling for both, Naruto gets a universal, but Luffy gets a star level. Oh. So Naruto is stronger than Luffy. Oh man, who would have thought? Who would have thought that a universal character would be a fucking star level character? Wow. Man, who could have told you that? And as I've already established, Naruto at this point in KCM2 Sage Mode would be infinite speed. Holy shit. So Luffy, who is a few million times faster than the speed of light in star level, would get fucking slaughtered by KCM2 Sage Mode. Even just regular War Arc Sage Mode would just slaughter him. Keep in mind, I did not use the Road to Ninja movie, which would just get him to 40. Outright, just get him to 40. You want to know why it gets him to 40? It gets him to 40 because the power of the first 7 tails, not even Kurama, created a parallel physical universe that is a perfect copy of the Naruto universe, plus its own timeline, which was scaled to Universal Plus, not to mention, I'm pretty sure it created a copy of the Kami Dimension, which is a 4th dimensional space-time. So that would get Universal Plus to low multiversal for fucking the tailed beasts. The weaker tailed beasts, not even Kurama. Now, I could actually back them in the story because Madara, when he gets his perfect Susanoo, is saying that he could smash the entire universe. And then he compares it to the power of the Biju. So, oh, shit, I just provided credence for 40 scaling in canon mid-Shippuden Naruto. Interesting. Damn, that's crazy, dude. Man, I definitely think Luffy stands a chance 100%. So, yeah, end of the video. Yeah, Luffy is fodder compared to Naruto. Stop comparing fucking bitch-ass Luffy to Naruto. He's not touching Naruto. He's not as strong as you think. This nigga's fucking weak. He's a bitch. You know what? Never mind. Let me provide some credence to Luffy because you know what? I only really just don't like his fans. It's not necessarily his fault. So yeah, low-key, Luffy, you yourself are not that bad. It's just that you have some... You have a little bit of space in your fan base. I don't even mean, like, I'm not even trying to be an asshole, dude. It's just like, can we at least slow down and think so we can provide some actual respect on other names besides One Piece? Like, why is it always the One Piece fans that have to shit on the Naruto fans? Why? Whatever. Anyways, we're not scaling Naruto properly. KCM2 Sage Mode, Naruto, Multi-Galaxy, slaughters One Piece, negative diff, Multi-Galaxy, infinite speed. Anyways...